Welcome to your Velox Parkjet Build video. For this build, you will need a good pair of pliers with cutters, a pen with a flat tip, an X-Acto blade, a metal ruler, the barbecue skewers in the kit, a piece of sandpaper, and a very good hot glue gun. Let's begin. First, we're going to start off with the rudder section and the elevator. Apply glue into the crevice and place the elevator tab into it. The elevator will already have a slot when you get your kit, but make sure you place the slot facing down, so if you're looking at the plane from the top, you can't see it. While the glue is drying, make sure you have a 90-degree angle, and then prepare the next rudder section. Apply glue, set it on the table. I had to clean it up a little bit. Set it on the table, and push down firmly. Now just straighten it out and let it dry. Okay, making sure that it is perpendicular to one another, you can now set it aside. Now we're going to start with the fuselage. The fuselage is very basic. It's just a 2-axis fuselage. So you're going to start with the top section, glue it down, match up the nose pieces, and then just glue it down on the center line. You're going to let that dry for a few seconds. And then you're going to squeegee out the excess glue. Now you're going to do the bottom part. The bottom part should reach all the way of the length of that base plate we have. So you apply glue, and then glue it down on the center line. Note how it has this a steeper curve towards the back. That's how you're going to want to do it. I'll show you in just a minute. If you can see how it's more, you can see the curve. It should be pretty straightforward anyways. So now if the nose is a little bit off like the foam board, just take your X-Acto, slice it down a little bit, and then just sand it. And there's the fuselage. Now we're going to start on the wings. You should have gotten 2 wings, and the wings may not look like how you thought they would. That's because I left you extra foam for an optional KF airfoil. If you don't want the airfoil, you can just simply cut straight out of it. But if you do, I'm going to show you how to make the airfoil. So start by making a score cut, which means you do not cut all the way through. You only cut the foam and the first paper layer. As you can see, I'll show you, I can still fold the foam board. And that's perfect. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to carve out that area. So with one cut on the foam board side, the airfoil side, you're going to want to make a nice V shape. And remember, do not cut through the paper. As you can see, the V shape should come right out, just like that. Now you have a crevice inside the wing. If you do happen to cut over or through the foam board, just put packing tape over it and you should be good to go. Next, take that flat tip of the pen and run it inside the crevice. That should make it larger. Now, you're going to slowly wiggle the foam board over. Since this foam board is a paper layer membrane, it'll crumple, which you do not want. So that's why you have to be very careful while doing this and make sure you have total control. Now apply glue into the crevice and the airfoil piece. Make sure you get a pretty good amount, and then just fold it over. And just hold your hand on top of it. Okay, now we wait. Give it a good 20 seconds, and when you check, once you check and it feels a little cooler, you want to check really quickly at the foam. If you see it moving even the slightest, you just put it back down and just wait some more. And I'm checking. I do not see any movement, so I can go ahead and put that piece away. Now we're going to prepare the wing for installment. And as you can see, the shiny layer on the front of the wing, this is the wing that had where I cut through, and you can see it looks fine. So I will have already marked out ailerons for you guys. I will have cut them out. I didn't do that on this model, so I'm just gonna cut out a prototype aileron. Yours is not gonna look like this. It'll be a bit larger for more performance. But you're gonna go ahead and cut all the way through on the side line of it. because that's not attached to the wing at all. So you're going to cut out just a millimeter sliver from there. As you can see, I pull away a little piece of foam that allows the aileron to deflect without interrupting. Then you do a 50% score cut. As you can see, just like you did on the wing, it's movable. Now you're going to take your X-Acto and you're going to make a bevel edge on the aileron surface, like I'm doing. Make sure you have a very sharp X-Acto blade. You do not want a dull blade. Then you're going to sand it down. As you can see, I'm just clearing off my workspace. You're going to take hot glue now and apply a nice bead down the line, and you're going to squeegee the hot glue away. Make sure to get the edges too. What that's going to do is that's going to seal the foam board to the paper, and it's going to make it a much stronger joint. Now let it cool just a little bit, and then set it down and put a dead weight on it to keep it straight. That'll just let the glue dry straight, and that'll keep it a lot more straight. As you can see, it's pretty much dry now, and we have our moving aileron. Next, we're going to trim out. As you can see, there's some overlay on the airfoil, and we're going to trim that out. So taking about 2 millimeters away from the middle of the wing, as you can see, the middle of the two wings, you're going to cut only the top of the airfoil out. So there should be a small gap. And what's going to happen is when the fuselage sits, it's going to sit in between the two airfoils. So just getting that cut out. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean. You can always just push down the front of it if it's not completely straight. Give it a little test fit. That looks good. Now I'm just going to test it with that, and you can see it kind of locks itself. Okay, so next we're going to do the wing spars. So as you can see on my personal model, the wing spars do show a little bit. You can choose to use carbon fiber, just a rod inside, like mount it however you want. I did wing spars with bamboo skewers, just 2 of them. They hold the wing pretty well. It will show a little bit, but you can, in my opinion, no one's going to see it from far away. I think it looks okay. You can always just cover it, but you're going to measure halfway on the spar. What you're going to do is you're going to line it up and see where your spar is going to end. You're going to mark it, give another fit. That works. You're just going to poke the spar through, making sure to twist it every so and keep it straight. If you are off, it will puncture your wing, and it's happened to me, and I'm very unhappy about it. But it's not the end of the world. You can fix it. So you're just going to keep wiggling through. And if you do it straight and cleanly, the wing spar does not look horrible in the airplane. It just shows a little bump. So I have one spar, almost 6 inches. It's great. Repeat this on 2 sides on each wing until you have 4 total holes. So 2 holes per wing, and then just fit the wings together, do a dry fit. Those look good. Slide the wings out a little bit, get glue inside the joint, then just snap the wings together. So as you can see, my spars were a little bit sloppy. I rushed it, but if you take your time, the spars will look decent. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let the glue dry, make sure the wing stays together, make sure you can squeegee off the excess glue. Okay, I'm just making sure the wing is all dry and staying together. And there it is. So now is the fun part. Well, almost. We're going to use another one of the barbecue skewers. We're going to measure it about 7 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to cut it flat. And what's going to happen is that's going to be your elevator reinforcement. I probably should have done this earlier in the video, but if you want the elevator reinforcement, I don't think you will. You can just glue it on the leading edge of your elevator. Just put some hot glue, put it down. That gives a nice curved edge too, as you can see how I'm doing. I'll give some strength. I also included some spars for the rudders, if you want to put them along the rudder. But I don't think you're going to need them. It's a very rigid structure. So while you let that dry, then you're going to line it up. The rudder should go 6 inches in on the wing. I'll have that marked for you. So you just check all your surfaces, you dry fit, then you apply glue. And then you just press down the tail section. Now just hold that down. Give it about 10 seconds. After about 10 seconds, the glue will hold it. So as you can see, you want to just check it for alignment. That's very crucial. Then you're just going to squeegee off the excess foam. Now we're going to do a dry fit with the fuselage. You can see it slides in very nicely. There we are. You're going to slide it out. And so you're going to put glue on the inside line there. Then you're going to make a triangle of glue, as in the wing shape, that'll hold the underside. And you're going to get that, which holds the top of the wing. You can just slide the whole thing on. Like so. Get that down a little bit. Make sure everything fits nicely. Okay, there you go. Once you finish drawing, you'll have your Velox, which is ready for electronics. This plane flies very well. If you do flap-arounds, note that you will have a lot of up elevator. Thank you for buying this airplane, and I'll be coming out with more soon. These Veloxes are very fun to paint. Make sure you use spray enamel, Rust-Oleum Works, and use very low adhesion painter's tape. Thanks for watching.